We're speed running this one, boys. If you just want the changes discussed in the title and thumb, click down below in the video timeline. But for now, I'm just going to give a quick channel update. In the world of news, sometimes a topic is interesting, but there isn't quite enough substance to draw out an entire long form video. A few years ago, if you've been watching for a while, shorter 1 to 2 minute videos were the bread and butter of this channel. But as the algorithm changed, so did how I structure my videos. There are still some people who miss those though, and honestly, so do I. They were quick to make while still providing high value to the viewers who just want the news without the fluff. So moving forward, I'm going to be experimenting with run it down bites. These will be shorter 1 to 5 minute videos that focus on one topic only. To differentiate these from my normal videos, the thumbnail will be a white version as on this video, while the normal ones will stay black. If you support this idea, let me know in the comments, and if you have any feedback, of course, I'd love to hear it. And if you haven't already, to keep up with Run It Down, the bites, and the world's content I'll be tackling shortly, be sure to subscribe. It'd be amazing to hit 200k by the end of this year. And just thanks so much for being here. Now, I know there is a bit of fluff in this video just because I'm explaining how it's going to work, and it's the first bites video, but the next ones will be more streamlined, I promise. Now onto the changes that have the potential to shake up the entire game as we know it heading into Worlds, and these changes are going to offer and encourage some heavy solo kill gameplay. And no, I'm not over exaggerating. From SpiderAxe on Twitter comes changes to all the Doran's items and Second Wind, and I'm going to explain how they'll change laning phase and what Riot might be trying to achieve with these. Firstly, Doran's blade is losing its 3% lifesteal, but gaining a new passive, Life Draining, that heals 2.5% for all damage dealt, which is reduced to 33% for AoE and pet damage. Next is Doran's Shield, which just loses 5 off its max heal, going from 45 to 40. This doesn't sound like a lot, but it kinda is, because it's more than 10% of the heal's value. Next is Second Wind, which is losing its flat heal of 3 upon damage taken. And lastly, and most interestingly, is Doran's Ring. Its current passive of regenerating 1.25 mana or 0.55 health per second is removed, and it's gaining a new passive, Drain. This restores 1 mana per second, increased to 2 for 5 seconds after damaging a champion. Restores 45% of this as HP if manaless or has full mana. If the numbers are all you wanted to know, you can click off, but for those that want to know what this means for laning, let's dive in. Doran's Blade changes are a net nerf for ADCs, because lifesteal only applies to auto attacks, or basic attacks, and that class of champions obviously autoed the most, but it's a net buff for ability users, namely melees. I think this is going to be quite big for champions that auto a lot and cast a lot, like Aurelia and maybe Riven, for example. In my mind, this works the same way as the old Death Stance used to before it was changed, the one that built Vampiric Scepter. Doran's Shield and Second Wind are pretty self-explanatory, they just heal less. This means early sustain stacking setups are weaker, shorter laning phase, more all-in volatility. But it's kind of weird because range tops Doran Blade is worse, unless you're Kennen, but so is the champs that just ride Doran's Shield and Second Wind until laning phase is over. Maybe Kennen even takes Doran's Ring now. And lastly, the Doran's Ring changes encourage slightly more interactive sustain. You now need to poke the enemy to maximize mana recovery, while manaless users like Akali get small but consistent HP sustain that scales with their trading. These changes do punish AFK farming mages and give manaless APs a bit more encouragement to headbutt people, like Rumble, Cat, Maud, Vlad, and as I said before, Akali. Maybe we even see laning AP Shyvana. What all this means for laning overall is kinda just less passive sustain. ADC Build Pass may change to access more reliable lifesteal because champions like Ashe, Jinx, Caitlyn, and Tristana don't cast nearly as much as they auto, and all the time they're off the map to sustain in base, they're losing time to scale. This may also see Fleet Footwork return to power for the class, champions opting for other resolve runes over Second Wind and probably a lot more solo kills and thus game volatility, which I am all for ahead of Worlds. That's all. Thanks for watching. Bye.